Welcome to another episode of The Working Hour, Mike and Shane, a WHMS radio-style podcast. I'm Mike, and alongside me is my best friend and co-host, Shane. Go ahead and say something, Shane. Let the listeners hear you.
Hey, what's going on, everyone?
If you're new to the program here, what we do is we cover an album track by track and give you our thoughts and feelings with the overall rating, 1 to 5, 1 out of 5, I should say. We alternate album choices. This week was Shane's choice, so go ahead and tell us the album of the week.
So this week's album is going to be AM by Arctic Monkeys, coming in at 4 minutes and 38 seconds. AM is the fifth studio album by English rock band Arctic Monkeys, released on the 6th of September 2013 through Domino Recording Company. It was produced by longtime collaborator James Ford and co-produced by Ross Orton at Sage and Sound Recording in Los Angeles and Rancho de la Luna in Joshua Tree, California. The album has 6 singles. It's a pretty solid number of singles. First one is Are You Mine? 2, Do I Want to Know? 3, Why Do You Only Call Me When You're High? 4, One for the Road? 5, Arabella? And 6, Snap Out of It. Drawing inspiration from a wide range of genres, including psychedelic rock, blues rock, hard rock, heavy metal, desert rock, R&B, funk, soul. AM notably marks Arctic Monkeys' first venture into a hip-hop influenced sound. I didn't pick up on that a ton.
I could see pop, but not really so much hip-hop.
Yeah.
But who wrote that?
Yeah. But I can definitely see like some of like the blues though, like the blues rock, especially like in the first half.
Yeah.
I feel like. The album received critical acclaim with a Metacritic score of 81 out of 100, with Rolling Stone listing AM at 346 on the 2020 500 greatest albums of all time list. So that is all I have. Do you have anything to add?
I have a little note on just the actual title of the album. I have an interview here from BBC Radio, Zane Lowe actually interviewing Arctic Monkeys' Alex Turner. And he said he got the album title, he kind of stole it more or less, from Velvet Underground's 1985 compilation album, VU. AM, Arctic Monkeys, VU, Velvet Underground. He also went on to say, did we cop out? Yeah. Something about it feels like this record is exactly where we should be right now, so it felt right just to initial it.
Respect.
That's all I have.
Okay. Also, I do feel like I should mention this album was actually suggested by Alex. So,
your wife.
My wife, yes.
My wife.
Yeah. So, with all that being said, you ready to get right into
Let's get into track 1, brother.
Okay. So, starting off, we have track number 1. This is a single. It is Do I Want to Know, coming in at 4 minutes and 32 seconds. There's like 2 alternating drum beats to open the song, followed up by some bass guitar, some layered electric guitar as well. 30 seconds in, the vocals hit. Have you got color in your cheeks? Do you ever get the fear that you can't shift the type that sticks like summit in your teeth?
Something
in your teeth. Summit?
Something.
Okay. I don't know what the fuck
it's his pronunciation.
Okay. Something in your teeth. Are there some aces up your sleeve? Have you no idea that you're in deep? I really like that the rhyming on this verse, it becomes a little bit more unpredictable as it goes along, taking time to like actually pay off. The pre-chorus hits and the guitar warbles and rings out in the background as backing vocals come. Before they come in fully on the chorus, crawling back to you. Ever thought of calling when you've had a few? The drumming kind of picks up heavy on the chorus. Between that and the guitar, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the White Stripes, just a little bit.
I can see it.
Do I Want to Know if this feeling flows both ways? Sad to see you go. Was sort of hoping that you'd stay. A song is very much about conflicting feelings following like a breakup, knowing that you're not really good for each other, but you still feel a pull towards them. The song doesn't change up too much musically or vocally, not really. But what it does is set a strong tone and energy that it sticks to just throughout the entire song. This is one of their biggest hits, um, amassing 2.8 billion streams on Spotify, which is fucking crazy. Like, it's
Yeah,
really good.
yeah, that's pretty good.
But
We added to that number this week too.
we did. I gave this a 3.8 out of 5.
Okay. Um, yeah, I thought it was a great intro track. The slow rhythm and percussion, like you said, the two drum beats. It's almost like a clapping too.
Mm-hmm.
But just the super catchy riff. I think that's what makes the track so good. It's just that catchy riff. It really sets the mood for the first 30 seconds. The vocals break the ice right after that 30-second mark. Have you got color in your cheeks? My favorite verse, however, is just the pronunciation of the flow. Because there's this tune I found that makes me think of you somehow, and I play it on repeat till I fall asleep, spilling drinks on my settee. Funny side note too, Do I Want to Know was used in a 2013 Bacardi commercial.
Okay.
So take that for what it's worth. I thought it kind of rings true to the overall feeling of the song. There's also that verse that flows really good into the chorus. Baby, we both know that the nights were mainly made for saying things that you can't say tomorrow day. And then it just goes into crawling back to you. Um, and there's like a really deep breath before the exhale, like where it's things you can't say for tomorrow day, and then there's kind of like a little bit of a pause, and then it goes into the crawling back to you, and it kind of swells.
Crawling back to
Yeah,
you.
and I thought that was really nice. I read that this was a track that was like the first played track, the opening track on the majority of the tour for the album AM, so the AM tour. And it's very fitting that it's track one on the album, but I think it's also just a solid intro track to like really get your attention. Like I
Mm-hmm.
will say, out of all the tracks on here, I think this one was well suited as the opening track, and even for like a live show, because this is definitely going to get the audience's attention. The Rolling Stones ranked this as the 10th best song of 2013, which
Nice.
I can definitely see why. The iconic guitar riff is what really sets the bar up so high. For me, I gave it a 3.9, so just slightly higher than you.
Okay.
That will move us on to track number two. Are You Mine? I have it run. The runtime is 3 minutes 21 seconds. I like the flow into the track. Like coming off of track one, I thought this flowed in good. It carried a lot of like similar vibes as track one, just with the guitar. This is like a little bit more amped up, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, are you mine? Are you mine? Are you mine? That verse is pretty solid, but the opening verse too is pretty catchy. I'm a puppet on a string, Tracy Island, time traveling, diamond shape, cutter shaped heartaches. Come to find you, uh, for in some velvet morning, years too late. So the some velvet morning is a reference to the song written by. I don't know if you got this. Did you pick anything up
I
on
did
that?
not.
Huh?
I did not know.
Okay. It's a song recorded by Nancy Sinatra and Lee Hazelwood in 1967. And I actually seen in an article where Alex was like bringing it up that it's like, yeah, we definitely like pulled from that a little bit. Tracy Island, though, is the secret South Pacific headquarters of an international rescue. It's like a TV show from a 1960s British sci-fi series, Thunderbirds, the series Thunderbirds, which
Huh.
I thought was pretty cool because
Okay. I
they're from England, aren't they?
think so, yeah.
Yeah. Um, Song is very fast paced from the beginning, and it really doesn't hold back. But just that I'm a silver lining, like it's very catchy, upbeat. It bounces around quite a bit. The riff wasn't as iconic as the last song, but I enjoyed the music. Like I thought this one had a little bit more fireworks, and I think it backs up really good. Um, to track one as far as like bringing the energy and just the ordering of how they play off of each other. I think it's pretty good and it's well mixed. I gave this. I didn't go as high as the last track, but I think that's to be expected. I gave this a 3.3 out of 5.
Okay. So let's see here. So I got like the buzzing guitar and drums kick off the song with lyrics almost immediately. The song is like kind of unapologetic and in your face, and I do have the same opening lyrics with the "I'm a puppet on a string, Tracy Island, time traveling, diamond cutter shaped heartaches."
You
Um,
said it better than I did.
a little, just because I'm used to diamond cutter. Like that's I don't
I'm
know.
more of a turd cutter.
Yeah, likewise. Um, anyway, during this first bit of lyrics, I like how they aren't like drowning in instruments. It's really just like the guitar with brief bits of percussion and punctuated certain lines with a little bit of backing vocals. The buzzing of the guitar really seems to flow well with the song. It really has a way of kind of commanding the direction of the song. On the chorus, I go crazy because here isn't where I want to be, and satisfaction feels like a distant memory. And I can't help myself. All I ever want to say is, "Are you mine?" The drums have a way of really like lending some punchiness to the vocals. On the second verse, I guess what I'm trying to say is I need the deep end, keep imagining meeting, wished away entire lifetimes, unfair, we're not somewhere misbehaving for days. At 143, the music drops away and we get Are You Mine? With backing vocals, including a bit where they like kind of get the full delivery. Um, Are You Mine? At 218, the vocals and drums pull back up, and the guitar gets a few quick bursts before the vocals come back, and we drop back into the song. The song ends abruptly with plenty of like backing vocals and a like a 1 2 3 4 5 6. Even more so than the last track, this song has a very strong energy to it. It really commands attention. I thought it has some like a little bit of like a southern rock sound to it a little bit.
Yeah, I can see
Like
it.
this did remind me of like the Black Keys a little bit.
Yeah, I can see it.
Um,
I'm surprised I didn't put that in my notes. I did touch on that in a couple tracks, but yeah, this was definitely the one where I could see the Black Keys.
yeah, but I could totally see myself like hearing this in like a bar down south somewhere.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, it's another major hit of theirs, clearing well over 1 billion streams. I also didn't go as high on it. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. So I One for the Road, track number 3, another
one
single,
for the road.
coming in at 3 minutes and 26 seconds. Opens up with One for the Road. Ooh, ooh. um, One for the Road. Ooh, ooh. The opening is this. It's this echo plucking string that gives a like a little bit of a rising tone before the music really drops about 10 seconds in.
Yeah, it's definitely noticeable. It's
Yeah.
subtle, but it's there. I'm glad you pointed it out.
Um, but yeah, music drops in like 10 seconds in with drums and the vocals, bass guitar coming in, and the bass is like really distinct on this. And plenty of backing vocals on this track. All the cracks and the blackout blinds cast patterns on the ceiling, but you're feeling fine. I thought it was dark outside. I thought it was dark outside. Dark outside. The chorus really has a totally different vocal delivery to it. There's no need to show me round baby. I feel like I've been here before. I've been wondering whether later, when you tell everybody to go, will you pour me one for the road? I particularly like the bass guitar playing alongside One for the Road. Whenever it says One for the Road, the bass just plays with it. It's like, ooh,
So yeah, bass guitar is like I appreciate it more now
yeah,
than ever.
absolutely. And there's some real spots on this album that it really is like, oh, that's nice. That's really well done. At 220, the music kind of quiets, the guitar rings, and it gets kind of plucky again, kind of like it was in the beginning. Um, ooh, ooh, one for the road. The drum beat and the guitar starts picking back up before some really solid guitar and drum breakdown. For one final chorus to close out the song with a rapid delivery, almost like the song is like fighting to get like its last words out. Um, Now we're a couple songs in, and I don't know. I like all of them, and I feel like I'm starting to kind of get comfortable with the album, and I'm starting to know what to expect from it. Um, the lyrics delivered with some like panache and swagger, accompanied by some backing vocals and just punchy instrumentation. I also gave this a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay, I'm just a smidge higher than you on this. So I Originally, I put this down without like I did my notes on this track specifically, one for the road, without looking at the singles, and I was like, "That's my first hidden gem," but it's like,
Nope.
nah, bud, it's a single. So I kind of redacted some of my notes, but I'm in the boat now where I totally understand why it's a single. I like this one a lot. Probably on my first listen through this one, it definitely stood out to me where I was like, all right. Because I listened to it at work, and I
Mhm.
work in a manufacturing background that's very loud. And I only wear one earbud, so I don't hear everything. But I was like, okay, I'm ready to
Yeah.
hear,
Well,
like,
I'm liking what I'm hearing
I
now.
like the right side of this. What's it sound
Right.
like with the left and the right? And it's good. Um, it's, I mean, I don't know where it ranks on as far as singles go, but I feel like it's one that I think I was more surprised that it was a single because I could see why it wouldn't be a single in the same sense,
Yeah.
because it's just so different from track one and track two, and they were both singles, correct? And track three being a single too.
Mm.
But this one is just quite a bit different. It's a little bit more subtle. I put that it's a lot more mellow compared to the first two opening tracks. One for the road kind of like settled me down and got me in a similar vibe and mood as track one and two, but it's more of like a soft ride, which I enjoyed. Um, the intro doesn't really showcase like the wild electric guitar and percussion that we've gotten in the last two songs. This is more of a quiet intro with the guitar still hitting with the drums, but it's a little different. The vocals are pretty mellow too and quiet. Um, this is one that I did put in the notes that I thought sounded a little bit like the Black Keys. Um, the backing vocals with the ooh ooh is very nice. I like
For
that a
sure.
lot. The handoff verse, what I call a handoff verse, is where it's will you pour me one for the road? And then it falls in. The mixture hits you hard, and his voice is kind of it's under some kind of filter. I'm not sure what. The mixture hits you hard. Don't get that sinking feeling. Don't fall apart. Some out of tune guitar soundtrack to disaster. I feel like the song kind of has a lot of like just drinking and like bad stuff happening, or just like leading to something.
Sure.
And I kind of got that a little bit from this track, just reading those notes now. It's a deeper track than I took for at face value. It's something I listened to, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. And then I listened to it and like followed along with the lyrics, and I'm like, oh, this is. I don't want to say it's dark, but it hit a little different after I like followed along with the lyrics. But overall, it's a solid track, and I do really consider it. I don't want to say hidden gem, but it's like one of the different sounding singles that I really did enjoy. I went just a little bit higher than you. I gave it a 3.6.
Okay.
Track number four. Correct me if I butcher the title of this. I have the runtime at 3 minutes 27 seconds. Arbella.
Arbella.
All right, is that correct? Because I was like, I'm gonna overthink it when we get there. You ever look at some of the tracks and you're like,
You're like,
I
ooh,
mean, it doesn't
yeesh.
happen very often, but sometimes it's
Sure.
like, I'm glad that's not my track to bring in because
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
gonna butcher that. Um, it has a very subtle intro to it. Takes a minute to really like fire off, I thought, but it's solid when it does. Just a little percussion starts us off with guitar plucking in the background, then the vocals start. Um, Arbella's got some interstellar gator skin boots and a helter skelter around her little finger, and I ride it endlessly. I thought that was just nice. Um,
There's a lot of lines in this album that's like I don't necessarily know what all this means, but that sounds
but it
cool.
works really well. No,
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. But at the same time, like I said, around that 43-second mark is where everything kind of flows really good. My days end best when the sunset gets itself behind. Um, the song really features like some pretty in depth and deep writing. Arbella's got a 70s head, but she's a modern lover and an exploration she's made of outer space. And her hips are like the galaxy's edge. Her lips, I'm sorry. In her kiss, the color of the constellation fallen into place. Song has like a lot of the Black Keys feel to it, but musically, on the backside of the track, I felt like a little bit of like a funky sound that kind of made me think of like Red Hot Chili Peppers for a minute.
Okay.
It's subtle, but I felt it a little bit. I don't have a whole lot for this one. This was a little bit of a drop off for me, and that's kind of why there's not a whole lot of notes that follow with it. I'm curious to see what you think, just because this kind of was a drop off for me.
Okay.
The guitar was the standout to me though of this track. It definitely like kind of carried it over the hump, if I want to say. And there's maybe one other track that kind of makes me feel a little meh. This is one of them, and it wasn't even a huge drop off. Like we'll get into it in the closing thoughts. I really actually enjoyed this album, but I gave this probably one of my lower scores. I gave this a 3.2.
Okay. So I got the drum beat and bass line right away with the fade in and out of the guitar and some quick like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like plucking of the guitar. The vocals come in with some echo and a little bit of effects to them. And I got a lot of the same lyrics. Arabella's got some interstellar gator skin boots and a helter skelter around her finger, and I write it endlessly. One thing I certainly wasn't expecting from this song, though, was for it to turn into war pigs on the chorus.
I didn't catch that.
Really,
We're gonna have to listen to that again.
I mean, it's really just the from the guitar.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
yeah, it's very war
I didn't
pigs.
connect that, but I'm gonna have to listen to that again.
But yeah, with like a little 1 2 from the guitar, the cymbals tapping, the vocals during this part have an almost like metallic sound to them. My days are best when the sunset gets itself behind. That little lady sitting on the passenger side. It's much less picturesque without her catching the light. The horizon tries, but it's just not as kind on the eyes as Arabella. Oh, uh, do like the I do like the rapid beat of the drums and these short controlled bursts that have and the fact that they change up just as much as they do, becoming very unpredictable. The pace really picking up on the bridge towards the end of the song, bouncing back and forth between the vocals and backing vocals. Um, just a slip underneath it, I hope, asking if I can have one of those organic cigarettes that she smokes. There's a drumming breakdown leads into a solid little guitar solo before the closing lyrics end the song. I really like the mix of the lyrical content, the thumping and unpredictable nature of the drumming, and some standout moments from the guitar too. I gave this a 7, or not a 7, 3.7 out of 5. On to track number 5, we have I Want It All.
By Queen.
Yeah.
I want
It,
it
it
all.
it's funny whenever I was like looking up lyrics, like that was like one of the first things to pop up. It's like you mean by Queen? I'm like
Mm-mm.
no. Right away there's plenty going on between the crashing of the drums, the guitar, the claps, the bass guitar. Very upbeat leading into the vocals. 16 seconds in, this is so far like the least lyrically dense song. About half of the lyrics off of this song are repeated. Blind faith, heartache, mind games, mistakes. My sweet fireball, my sweet rigmarole. I want it all. I want it all. I want it all. At 114, the music pulls back. The bass, the clapping, and muffled guitar goes alongside the lyrics. Said, ain't it just like you to kiss me? And then hit the road. Leave me listening to the Stones. 2,000 light years from home. Right before the guitar hits, a very electronic, like and metallic little solo hits. A shoo up, shoo up, shoo up, shoo up, shoo up. At 2:43, the song starts winding down. I don't have too much for this song. It keeps it pretty simple. Waste no time getting to the pace that it's going to follow throughout, and it doesn't have a ton going on lyrically. But I mean, it's quick, in and out, easy listen. I give it a 3.5.
Okay. Twinsies.
All right.
Um, so yeah, it's back to the guitar-led intro, which I'm a fan of. It creates like a little bit of a high energy from the get-go. This one's not as high energy, but it's a little bit fast-paced. It's a nice jam, even though it's kind of mellow feeling. Um, it's still very Arctic Monkeys, like rock and roll, but it's a little bit different from like their rock and roll sound of the intro track. Like their genre is kind of hard to put a finger on. I mean, you touched on
It
the
changes
genres.
a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does, and it's like really hard to put it into one category.
I didn't think it was going to change as much as it does, just based off like the first like two tracks. They felt pretty close.
Yeah, very similar. And
So
then track three, One for the Road, is quite different.
right.
So, and here we are here again with like a little bit more of a different sounding, but still it has that very familiar, like we're 5 tracks in the album, almost the halfway point. You can tell it's Arctic Monkeys for sure. But I still I still do think they sound a lot like the Black Keys. Um, I almost was like, we'll get into my album selection, but I'm almost like, man, you ever listen to El Camino, Black Keys, that album?
I have not.
Okay, that's like the only one I'm really familiar with.
It's good though.
We'll probably do it at some point. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I was like, well, maybe I should do it on the back of this, but it's like,
Yeah.
no, it's too much of the same. Because I do think they sound like that album and this album specifically. And I want to say this was, what year was this again?
2013.
2013, dude. Black Keys, El Camino is like a little bit before that, so
Oh
it's
really?
right around. Yeah,
Okay.
I was in high school when it came out. I'm not sure exactly what year, so late tens. Um, tells you how old we are. But the guitar is still singing on this one, but I feel like it's a little toned down, even though it is kind of going crazy in the backgrounds at times. Um, track features clapping throughout, which could be the reason the guitar is a little toned down, which you touched on in an earlier track where they kind of pull away from the musical loudness to like kind of like let the vocals kind of do the work, and I like that. And I enjoyed this track too. I thought it was a little bit of a callback with the verse. It's a little bit of a callback to "Pour Me One for the Road" with the lyric, and you mentioned too, and then suddenly it hit me. It's a year ago since I drank miniature whiskey, and we shared your coat. And when he said it ain't just like you to kiss me, then hit the road. I wondered if that was kind of a callback to "Will you pour me one for the road?" because it's very similar
Okay.
in the fact that Alex delivers it said like you said, ain't it just like you to kiss me and then hit the road? Like pour me one for the road and I'm about to be out of here. Anyways, I like that. I thought it kind of played off of the previous track, but whatever. Vocally, I thought this one was excellent. The pronunciations and delivery really created a vibe with the music enforcing it and backing it up. The shwap, 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 shwap.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice too. Overall, yeah, I enjoyed it. I gave it the same score as you, 3.5 out of 5.
Okay.
And that will move us to track number 6, number 1, Party Anthem. At the runtime of just a smidge over 4 minutes with 4 minutes 3 seconds. Now, this was not a single crack.
This was not.
So this would be one that I'd consider a hidden gem in
Sure.
a sense. I gave it a higher score than the previous track, if that tells you anything. I thought this one kind of sounded like a ballad on the intro. Kind of led in with percussion and the vocals follow right after, and the music kind of changes up too. It's another one that I enjoyed, and like I said, kind of consider it a hidden gem. Musically, there's not a crazy amount of guitar, but the vocal work is solid, and that's what I like the most about it. The delivery of the "Come on, come on, come on, number one party." It's very nice. And this was one that like upon my first listen, my early listens of the album, because this was totally new to me, especially here we're at the halfway park. I was like, this one definitely sticks out to me. And when I see the words "number one party anthem," I didn't expect
Right.
the
This.
vibes. Yes, but it's very deep. Um, like I said, the track features some solid writing to accompany the solid delivery. The verse, drunken monologues, confused because it's not like I'm falling in love. I just want you to do me no good, and you look like you could. And you look like you could. And I like that. I think it's relatable. Like sometimes we just have these attachments to things that we know are not good for us, but it's like, I still want to let me learn the hard way, please.
Yeah. Right.
That's kind of what I took away from it. The song has quite a bit of repetition. I don't want to say it's the most repetition, but it was where I kind of noticed it. I mean, I don't think we've either one of us touched on repetition yet at this way through the album, at this point in the album. But I kind of noticed it on this one, but I liked it. I enjoyed it because I think we're both in the same boat. If there's some repetition and it's on a track we like, we're gonna like it overall because it's like it just kind of keeps hammering home the same message. And that was the case for this. I did like this song. It's slow and groovy, but I like it, and I can understand why other people they wouldn't like it. But I like both their sounds. They're just aggressive guitar work, and then a track like this where it's kind of toned down a little bit. Um, I give this a 3.8 out of 5. Did enjoy
You said a
it.
3.8?
3.8.
Okay.
Am I higher than you?
No.
Really?
No.
Okay.
But we're really close.
Okay, that makes me feel better because I was like, damn, I missed the mark.
No.
Get kicked off the pod. It's gonna be the working hour. Shane,
Just Shane's working
Shane
hour.
and Dyke.
I'm like, leave the pad, leave the tablet. I'm gonna need that.
I'm gonna need that to record, bud.
So song opens with the 1, 2, 3, 4. It's said really faintly, and it kind of gets buried by the drumming after he says two. Like you just kind of catch the tail end of four after that. But very slow tempo to this song between the slow beat of the drum, the guitar, vocal delivery, and also the piano on this. I like the piano. I was like, oh, that's all right. Look at that. I haven't really like. I don't think it's shown up on the album so far.
No, it
So
was a nice touch. Creates a vibe.
yeah, song like almost has like. I mean, dare I say it? I could be off the mark here. Almost the tone of like a ballad almost.
Yeah, yeah.
A little
I
bit.
put that. Yeah, it feels like a ballad on the intro.
Yeah,
100%.
there you go.
It's very ballad esque.
Call off the search for your soul, or put it on hold again. She's having a sly indoor smoke, and she calls the folks who run this her oldest friends, sipping a drink and laughing at imaginary jokes. As all the signals are sent, her eyes invite you to approach, and it seems as though those lumps in your throat that you just swallowed have got you going. Bars. That a lot of lyrics I just listed, but it's good. It's good, and they all flow together. So there they are. This leads us right into the chorus as the tempo slows even more. Come on, come on, come on, number one party anthem. Coming off the second chorus, the energy livens up as the lyrics come faster and the electric guitar squeals. The drum beat picks up. The guitar takes on an almost psychedelic sound to it towards the end of the song as it rings out and the song comes to a close. I like that this song is more slow in its pace. I feel like they really
Come on, come on,
come
come on.
on. Like I feel like they really were like, hey, no, we can slow down and like still make a fucking banger of a
Yeah, I
song.
feel like this is like if you were at a concert, this would be something that would be towards the end of the show
Yeah,
because it is kind of like
yeah,
slowing you down. It's like getting off the freeway.
for sure. It's I don't know, it has like bits that kind of remind me of Radiohead just a little bit.
I can see it.
It's like specifically like the guitar
Oh,
work,
we're
I
gonna have to
think.
do a Radiohead album too. I'm gonna have to put that in the notes.
Yeah, no,
Some
we're gonna
Pablo Honey.
do
That's the only one I know.
because
But
I've oh bro, yeah,
Pablo Honey's good.
yeah. Anyway, the I like that the song is a little slower in its pace. The instrumentation and vocals get a pop when the song really picks up, and makes them very noticeable in contrast. The song also has like a universal sound to it. You could listen to this on your best day and relate to it, or you could listen to this on your worst day and relate to it. You could listen to it highest highs and lowest lows and be like, "Yeah, song fucking rules." I gave this a 3.9 out of 5.
Okay.
So yes, we were very close on that. On to track number 7, we have Mad Sounds. The lone electric guitar echoes out. It kind of reminded me of Jeff Buckley for a second before the vocals actually came in. It reminded me of Hallelujah for just like a little
Okay, I
bit
was
of.
gonna say that's the only Jeff Buckley I know.
Yeah, it's just like the guitar in the beginning of that kind of reminded me of
Was
it.
that even him on guitar though?
I don't think so. But anyway, uh,
No shade there. I'm just.
Mad Sounds in your ears make you feel alright. They bring you back to life. The bass guitar comes in, followed by the tambourine and organ as well. Another slower track with some soft vocal delivery. I like this song is called Mad Sounds, but it's really anything but. It's very chill and kind of soulful, a little bit. Another song that isn't particularly lyrically dense, but it never feels like it's lacking or hits any sort of a lull. I can definitely appreciate some good pacing. You sit and try sometimes, but you just can't figure out what went wrong. Then out of nowhere, somebody comes and hits you with an ooh
Ooh la
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 la.
la, ooh
Ooh
la
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 la.
la.
The instrumentation picks up around the last minute of the song, and the guitar rings out to the distance as the drums end up crashing, ending with it ends with the organ. This was a pretty simple and slow song by comparison to what came before, not immediately before, but just the rest of the album before that. Um, it doesn't really get too flashy. I think this is a very chill and laid back track that I feel like is a bit of a sleeper hit. Um, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't expecting too much from this, and I thought it was very good. I gave it a 3.4.
Okay.
out of 5.
I'm a little bit higher.
Like, there's nothing like that's like one of my lower scores. It's funny I say it's a sleeper hit, that being like one of my lower scores, but like even my lower scores on this album are not that low.
Yeah, I feel like we've both been well, we've been pretty close on this album. Not too
Yeah,
far off. I do see what you're saying about the intro sounding like Jeff Buckley
yeah, just a little bit.
for sure. And I also didn't want to touch on it's like me talking to Letty, my daughter. She's like, sometimes you just sit and where's it at? You try to figure out what's I lost my spot.
Oh, I lost it.
You sit and try sometimes, but you just can't figure out what went wrong. Then somewhere out of nowhere, and someone's like, "Ooh la!" It's just me singing to her. It's like, let me make you feel better, all right?
There you go.
That hit sounded better in my head.
You're
So I'm
good.
sorry for that. Similar to a couple tracks before, like some of the previous tracks, this is kind of a very chill intro. The tambourine comes in, and that kind of helps with the vibe that Alex also creates with his soft and serious vocals. Mad sounds in your ears make you feel all right. They bring you back to life. Mad sounds in your ears make you get up and dance. They make you get up. Yeah, they make you get up. This is one that I liked a lot, but it's to me this song is just talking about music and how it kind of brings you back. It makes you, like you said, it brings you back to life, makes you stand up, makes you get up. And music's kind of like always there for us. That's kind of what I took away from this one, just the mad sounds in your ears. And I don't really listen to a lot of angry music anymore, but I could see where the mad sounds just like I don't know. There's plenty of songs I listen to that aren't necessarily like angry or hardcore genre or anything like that, but there's definitely some. I could see where mad sounds from the guitar, even piano. Like you can create a mad sound with a harp. I
Hmm.
mean, it's out there for sure. So I like that about it, and it gave me a happy and upbeat feeling when I kind of did a little bit more research about the meaning of the song. I also like the line, "Suppose you've got to do what you've got to do. We just weren't feeling how we wanted to. You sit and try sometimes, but you just can't figure out what went wrong. And then out of nowhere, someone hits you with the ooh la la la, and that's nice. I mean, that's music. I mean, it's silly there with that line, but it's like more or less, yeah, it's music. And from the get go, like me talking about my daughter, it's just yeah, music is nice. Like I put music on for her now, and it don't matter what it is. She bumps and jumps around. She actually was vibing to Arctic Monkeys when I was
Nice.
playing it the other night. I need to actually like play it on my tablet so I can videotape her on the phone and send it to you like when we're listening to the album we're covering for the week, and
Absolutely.
she gets into just about anything, which is what I thought the song kind of meant. Um, I'd classify this too as more of a ballad sounding track. I did enjoy the high energy tracks, but this one, like the last track, really like spoke to me in a lyrical way. I gave this a 3.8, so just a little bit higher than you.
Okay.
And that will take us to track number 8.
To you need a break?
No, I'm good if you're
Okay,
good.
I'm good.
We will move to track number 8, Fireside. I have the runtime as 3 minutes, 1 second, just a smidge over that 3 minute mark. So this is kind of back to the higher energy and sound vibe, whatever. It's kind of fast paced. The music is more fast paced than Alex. His vocal deliveries, it's a little bit slower than the music. Kind of creates an offset. I can't explain it, but I want to try. And there's this image of you and and it goes dancing by in the morning and in the nighttime. This is one that did stick out on my early listens. And the longer I listened to the album, the more frequently I did. I listened to this album quite a bit more than um, quite a few of the last albums we've done. I listened to it a lot more, um, and this is one that stuck out. And then it never really dropped off from me. I always kind of appreciated it. I got a lyric here, but it's really long, but it's also very good. I'm not gonna do it 100% justice like I do with every vocal delivery I give you guys here, but Alex's delivery is very solid on this. There's all these secrets that I can't keep. Like in my heart, there's that hotel suite, and you've lived there so long. It's kind of strange now you're gone, and that flows into I'm not sure if I should show you what I found. Has it gone for good, or is it coming back around? And I really like that. It's a very catchy track, and I was surprised this wasn't a single. I was really kind of surprised for that. I looked at you and I was like, "It's not a single, right?" I mean, double check, but it
Uh
wasn't.
huh. Nope.
I gave this a pretty good high score rating. Um, like I said, I was surprised it wasn't a single. Musically, I think it's pretty simple and not really overdone. The opening tone kind of sets a tone that follows the track for the rest of it. I just kind of enjoyed the flow of Alex's vocals and the offset utilized with the music. I gave this a 4.0 out of 10. I wish I had a little bit more to back that up, but I liked it. I think it just kind of stuck out from Jump Street, and I liked it.
Okay. So I got rapid guitar and drums open the song with a very like fast-paced energy, kind of leaving you wondering what direction the song is going to take. Vocals come in around 10 seconds in. I can't explain, but I want to try. There's an image of you and I that goes dancing by in the morning and in the nighttime. The chorus isn't too flashy on this, the song remaining more reserved and fitting really well with the chorus. I'm not sure if I should shoo up, show you what I've found. Has it gone for good? Shoo up, or is it coming back around? Shoo up. At the 2 minute mark, the music kind of dies down briefly before swelling back to a pop for the final chorus. I really don't have too much else
I'm glad you
for
incorporated the
this.
show ups. I didn't because they're like backing vocals. I was like, I'm not gonna focus on the backing vocals, but I'm like, damn, okay, he
Oh,
kind of out of me there.
no, you're good. No
I know,
shame, no
but
shame. Yeah, I don't have too much to add to the song.
I didn't have a lot for it either, so
It
that makes
remains
me feel better.
it remains pretty simple. Its simplicity works really well amongst the rest of the album. It's just like here's here it is. No, there you go. I like it. It's not like one of my highest, but like it's pretty good. I gave it a 3.6 out of 5.
Okay, I would expect me to be a little higher on that one because I feel like there's not a lot of substance there. We
There,
both were short on our notes for it, so
yeah,
there's that.
and
And it wasn't a single, but I enjoyed it. Sounds like
I
you enjoyed it too.
I actually have some sleeper hits like at the very end of the album. I think. On to track number 9, we have another single. Why do you only call me when you're high? At 2 minutes and 41 seconds. The drum beat on this song.
Oh, sorry. Oh, we bored you?
Oh
It's
yeah, super bored.
contagious. Yeah.
The drum beat on this song really takes command. It really feels like the lyrics like follow suit on this track. The mirror's image tells me it's home time, but I'm not finished because you're not by my side. The song continues to build to the chorus. Now it's 3 in the morning, and I'm trying not to change, or I'm trying to change your mind. Left you multiple missed calls, and to my message you reply. Why do you only call me when you're high?
Hi.
Hi. Why do you only call me when you're high? There's some there's some
Congregation.
conversation in the lyrics. Uh, somewhere darker, talking the same shite. I need a partner. Hey, well, are you out tonight? From 2:20 through to the end. Why do you only phone me when you're high? This is the shortest song off the album. It has like zero fluff to it. It's yeah. There's no fluff. This is another obvious single in my opinion. It's catchy. It's short. While not my favorite song off the album or like my favorite single, it's another solid track. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay.
I think like that's one thing I've noticed with this album is like kind of hitting
Yeah.
that a lot.
Yeah, the
It's
bar
like
doesn't really fall.
yeah, it doesn't like it's not super high, but it's also not super
I feel like
low.
we've done that in the last couple albums though.
Yeah, so this was just
It's kind of holds the line.
consistently good.
Toto. Yeah, this is an alright track. I wasn't crazy about it either. As far as like singles go. Short runtime, like you said, shortest on the album. It has a solid flow that carries it. To the first drop around 30 seconds with the verse. Now it's 3 in the morning. Now it's 3 in the morning, and I'm just trying to change your mind. Left you multiple missed calls, and to my message you reply, why'd you only call me when you're high? Hi. Why'd you only call me when you're high? I like that too, where it's like, why'd you only call me when you're high? Hi. Why'd you only call me when you're high? It's very catchy. I'm like similar. I don't have a whole lot for it either. It's pretty short, but I dig it. I read that it was kind of more about him like trying to get a booty call,
Sure.
which I mean, it kind of adds to like this is one that I didn't take too serious. Probably the one that I took the least serious off the album because it is just kind of goofy. But I like it. Um, it's it's not crazy good by any means, but like I said, it's fine, and it kind of breaks up the I don't want to say mumbo jumbo, but it just kind of breaks up the album a little bit with a little bit of fun. I gave it a 3.6. So moving on though, track number 10, "Snap Out of It," 3 minutes 12 seconds. It's a final single off the album, and I support it being a single. The track is solid through and through. It's a nice upbeat percussion on the intro, with plenty of guitars to create a nice vibe too. Alex's vocals are solid on this one too, with a lot of range, which I didn't really acknowledge that throughout the album. I mean, he's a crazy good vocalist, but this is one of the ones that I really did like. The delivery of the intro verse, "What's been happening in your world? What have you been up to? I heard that you fell in love, or near enough. I gotta tell you the truth. Yeah." And just how he kind of like drags out the pronunciation and "what's been happening in your," and then "what have you been up to? I've heard you fell in love." And it's very nice. It's just how he plays on that. It's catchy. Um, so that flow is kind of dropped, and then we go into the chorus. "I want to grab both your shoulders and shake, baby. Snap out of it. Snap out of it." But the best is the delivery of the end of that verse that I was just talking about. The delivery where it's "snap out of it," and they kind of like pause in between. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of pause in between the delivery, and I really like that. Musically, I think the percussion is like the lead on this track. It really sets the tone, and it's kind of the only thing that really changes the tone throughout the track. There's plenty of guitar work that's noticeable too. I'm not trying to take away from it, but I thought the percussion really like led the vibe and the direction of this track. It's a nice, more I don't want to say it's more refreshing, but it's more of an upbeat, almost pop sounding track. Overall, it changes a little bit on the backside of the track before falling back to the normal sound. This is a good one, and I'm still going to give it a not a crazy high score with a 3.6 on this one. I feel like it's good, but some of the other non singles I feel compare right with it.
Okay. So for Snap Out of It, I got the drum beat opens, followed up with what sounds like a almost like a coin rattling, just a little bit. The drumming rapidly leads into the vocals and some deep piano keys and bass guitar. "What's been happening in your world? What have you been up to? I heard that you fell in love, or near enough." I like that line.
Yeah,
Or near
it's
enough.
pause though. It's like, "Heard you fell in love, or
Or
near
near
enough."
enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. What
yeah.
do you mean, yeah? Uh,
Just
yeah.
means yeah.
Just means yeah. It leads us to the chorus with some backing vocals throughout. "I want to grab both your shoulders, shake, baby. Snap out of it. Snap out of it. I get a feeling that I left it too late, but baby, snap out of it. Snap out of it." I do like the pauses between each of the word, but between each word to end the chorus, punctuated by the electric guitar, adding some emphasis. Snap out
Of
of
it.
it. Coming off the chorus, the bass guitar repeats along with the thumping drums for a few seconds before getting to the next verse. "Forever isn't for everyone, is forever for you." The bridge has what sounds like some distorted strings as the keys continue and the backing vocals take over. "Under a spell, you're hypnotized. Oh, darling, how could you be so blind?" The song ends pretty much immediately once the final chorus ends. I really appreciate the bass guitar and piano keys on this track. I didn't go terribly high. I gave it a 3.2 out of 5. On to track number 11. We have Knee Socks. I really like the guitar and bass contrasting the twinkling at the start of the song. 21 seconds there's a crash of drums and the guitar clangs, leading us to the vocals. The crashing drums and the guitar repeat throughout the song. and you were sitting in the corner with the coats all piled high. And I thought you might be mine in a small world on an exceptionally rainy Tuesday night in the right place and time. The song has a real bounce to it sonically, due in part to the drums, bass, and vocal delivery. The chorus is a real standout to me. The vocal delivery, the backing vocals, and like the buzzing guitar just makes the whole chorus sound really cool. When the zeros line up on the 24-hour clock, when you know who's calling, even though the number is blocked, when you walked around your house wearing my sky blue Lacoste and your knee socks. Knee socks. I really like that. Knee socks. The delivery of knee socks echoing out. I know, just keep saying it. Knee socks. What my Nissan? Um, uh, at 2 minutes and 34 seconds, it caught me off guard with the with its bridge, with Josh Home doing vocals instead of Alex Turner.
Yeah, he's from Queen of the Stone Age.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. All right. You and me could have been a team. Each had a half of a king and queen seat. Like the beginning of Mean Streets, you could be my baby. We get one more chorus and a short outro. Knee socks. Oh, knee socks. After giving it some thought, I've concluded this is my favorite song off the album. Something about it. Oh, you don't like this song? Okay.
I wasn't crazy about it.
Something.
I knew that was gonna happen too.
Something about it just sounds.
Because you're a sock guy, aren't you?
It just sounds cool to me. I mean, look at my socks right now. Look at them.
He's got his skirt on with his knee socks.
Yeah. All right, it's sky blue. I give this a 4.3 out of 5.
Okay. Yeah, I got the same score, but mine's different direction. 3.4.
You're like, I gave this song a 5 out of 4.3.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I meant the first part of the score.
Yeah.
Instead of 4.3, I got 3.4. So I'm not gonna say like it didn't fall off a cliff or anything for me. It was just kind of like man, and it's probably because it's on the backside of the album, and it just the more I listen to it, like I said, my first couple listens, Snap Out of It stood out to me. Why'd You Only Call Me When You're High? That stood out to me. Fireside even did to a degree, but Knee Socks, it just kind of missed the mark for me a little bit. I don't have like any real gripe or complaints with it. I don't totally dislike it. It fits the album just fine. I have no complaints with it there. I mean, I'm not even going to say struggle it out or power it out. It's a fine track. I did like the intro, and I also like the opening sound of the intro, but I wasn't crazy about the vocals on the intro. The track flows into the chorus really well, and I like that. Other than that, really nothing moved the whole like the meter for me. I did like a couple lyrical lines from the track with a cough drop colored tongue. I thought that was kind of neat. I don't know what that means though. Cough drop colored tongue. I've never really
Had cough drops like leave behind color like that.
Yeah, have you?
Yeah, no.
Now that I think about it, yeah, there actually was a time back in the day.
I was gonna say with halls you don't get that.
Yeah, but there was one where actually I needed to pass a drug test. We were chilling at the old place. I had to go to the temp agency.
Okay.
And I remember I had a cough drop in because I was like, it should cover it up. And I remember when I took like the swab out of my mouth, it was red from the cough drop.
Yep.
So actually, just solved my own mystery. I changed my score. No, I'm just kidding. I did also like the line when the zeros line up when the zeros line up on the 24-hour clock. When you know who's calling, even though the number is blocked. I like that. I wasn't knee socks. Yeah, I wasn't crazy about it. But I did like Josh Holmes' part. It was okay, but I don't think it was 100% necessary. Like I feel like Alex has a wide enough vocal range where he could have filled that in. I actually saw on Reddit someone was like, "Oh fuck, I thought that was Alex or whoever else from the band does the backing vocals."
Okay.
They were like, "I'm such a bad fan. Like I don't know." And but no, it was fine. I just really wasn't super impressed with this one. I like I said, I gave it a 3.4 out of 5, which is still a decent score. like I said, nothing wrong, but we're gonna move on. Track number 12, "I Want to Be Yours." This track features John Cooper Clarke. For what it's worth, "I Want to Be Yours," though, callback to our episode of Foxy Shazam,
Oh,
Church of Rock and Roll. Great
okay,
album. There's also a song in there called "I Want to Be Yours."
okay.
I don't want. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
sing because I
yeah, yeah,
forgot.
okay.
Anyways, I was intrigued with the intro on this one. There's a lot of neat sounds going on. It kind of hooked my attention, especially kind of coming off the previous track. Knee socks.
Knee socks.
I was kind of looking for something, and I knew this was a closer track. And it's good. I think it's a great closer. In my opinion, I feel like I'm me more than you, but I feel like we both do. We kind of nitpick at the closing track if it's good or not. I feel like I'm pretty set in stone on like analyzing the last track. You are too, to a degree, but I think it's more me than you. But then you'll like kind of elaborate on it. But I thought this was a great closer. Um, the opening verse kind of really sets the mood for the track. "I want to be your vacuum cleaner, breathing in your dust. I want to be your Ford Cortina. I will never rust." Let me tell you though, funny story here. I'm I don't want to say I'm a car guy. I mean, I work on cars. I do
I
stuff.
purposely didn't include that line because I'm like, oh, he's gonna
You're
list
like, that's
that.
a low hanging fruit for that dumbass monkey, Mike. um, so I looked up. I just Googled it, and I welcome you to do it at home, wherever. Just Google Ford Cortina and rust, and you'll find Ford Cortinas are notorious for
Rust
severe
like a
rust
motherfucker. Okay.
issues, particularly on the Mark III and later models, often affecting structural areas like wheel arches, floor pans, wing tops, door to pour initial rust protection. So,
Oof.
yeah, that lyric does not check out. Anyways, that made me laugh a little bit, which is like, all right, maybe that's like a hidden meaning where it's like, I don't know, you say you're gonna do all these things and then you kind of don't. I
Yeah.
don't know. Um, but I liked it. This was an alright track. The lyrics kind of they say the same thing with different but clever ways of saying it, and I really appreciate kind of like the dynamicness of the lyrics. "I want to be your setting lotion, wanna be," and the "wanna be" is the backing
Wanna
vocals.
be
Yeah, "hold your hair deep in deep devotion."
how
How
deep?
deep? Shane on backing vocals here. "At least as deep as the Pacific Ocean." That's pretty deep. "Now I want to be yours." It's a great track, and I thought it was a solid bounce back from the previous track. Not that it, like I said, not that it fell off a cliff or anything. I know that was your favorite track on the album, but I thought this one really sent the album out on a high note. I gave it a 3.8 out of 5.
Okay. This is an interesting track. It's a mix of sexy and also kind of like a has a bit of like a beach bum sound to it almost. You know. It also it's kind of funny like saying you want to be someone's vacuum cleaner and many other like appliances. The song opens slow, quiet with the drum beat, and then the bass guitar, as well as the guitar that has like the real beach bum sound to it. There's also some like pop sound that repeats. It almost sounds like a tennis ball being smacked around. If you like your coffee hot, let me be your coffee pot. You call the shots, babe. I just want to be yours. Some really well placed soft backing vocals on the verse, and it leads us to the chorus with more backing. I want to be yours. I want to be yours. Want to be yours. I really like the I want to be your setting lotion. Wanna be hold your hair in hold your hair in deep, or is it hand?
I thought it was hair.
Okay, it is hair. I gotcha. I was gonna say because I copied that and I didn't like type that out. In deep devotion, how deep? The backing vocals like drop, and the music pulls back. At least as deep as the Pacific Ocean, and then it like picks back up. The outro repeats, and the electric guitar really squeals along with what sounds like some like female like backing vocals, like doing some of that. And I had really noticed up to this point of the song just because of everything that was going on, and I feel like it like is almost kind of masked a little bit by some of the instrumentation. But This is one of my favorites off the album, and a great track to end the album. I give this a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah. Onto the bonus track, we have "The Great Divide" by Noah Kahn. Do you?
You can go first. I have the runtime at 5 minutes. You don't want me.
No, it's Kahn. I mean, either that or Jimmy Fallon fucked up.
How did you pronounce it? Oh.
Well, Jimmy Fallon said Kahn, so we're saying Kahn.
We're gonna go with Con. We already gave you the album this week, Alex. What more do you want?
Yeah, come on. So, all right, yeah. So coming in at 5 minutes and 17 seconds. Song opens with like two different guitars. One's like very high pitched, and the other more traditional electric guitar, which becomes the main guitar as the high pitch stops pretty early into the song. The vocals come in, and the delivery and lyrical content are both like very sincere and intimate. I can't recall the last time we talked about anything but looking out for cops. We got cigarette burns on the same side of our hands. We ain't friends, we're just morons who broke skin in the same spot. The vocals start picking up on the pre chorus as additional guitar and drums start to rise. You know, I think about you all the time, in my deep misunderstanding of your life. The emotion in Noah's vocals only continue to grow on the chorus and really as the song goes on. I hope you settle down. I hope you marry rich. I hope you're scared of ordinary shit. Which I like that. Scared of ordinary shit. It's like, I just hope you have a normal life. And I mean, that's nice. The song maintains a louder and more upbeat pace for a good while until around 3:40, when it starts to become more reserved and stripped back um, to get stripped back to the guitar and a little bass with the vocals on the bridge. Rage in small ways. Did you wish that I could know you'd fade to someplace I wasn't brave enough to go? Before the song like revs back up for one last chorus, really popping at 4:30 before the closing lyrics with some deep percussion and electric guitar. I hope you're not losing sleep about what's next or about your soul and what he might do with it. This song really hit for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was very deep, heartfelt in its writing. And I'm going to have to check out more of the stuff. I went high on this. I give this a 4.4 out of 5.
Okay. I'm gonna scroll down and see what mine is, but I'll give you my overall at the end, like I normally do. This is one of the freshest bonus tracks, so I think we've ever done. This is off the 2026 album, The Great Divide. The track was released January 30th of this year. I'm not sure if the album's out. Might be by now. I didn't really follow through on my research on that. This popped up randomly on my Spotify one day, and I stopped what I was doing because I was actually at work in the middle of doing something, and I was like, I need to add this to my like songs before it moves on, because I was using the DJX by Spotify, and let me tell you, it's great, but if you don't save what you're doing, you can't go back and look at the history. It'll just say DJ.
That sucks.
Yeah, that kind of, so Spotify, maybe work on that, even though I don't post it on Spotify. I only post this on YouTube. Track's got some heavy lyrics, but in a good heaviness. I have all the lyrics to you, and it's funny in here. I put, because I thought maybe I was going to go first, not to take all the lyrics, but they've already been taken.
Sorry.
But no.
They're all really good.
As it should, yeah. Yeah, I'm not faulting you. I can't recall the last time that we talked. I can't recall the last time we talked about anything but looking out for cops. And I like that. I don't want to say I related to us, but because we're still solid friends. But just like, I don't know, that age of life where you're just like doing bad stuff. I don't want to say bad stuff,
Sure.
but I like that lyrical line.
Living a little more reckless.
Yeah, and I think about you all the time and my deep misunderstanding of your life and how bad it must have been for you back then and how hard is it to keep all inside. I feel like that's the older you get, you kind of look back as your your younger years and your friends, and you're like, man, that so and so had like a really fucked up upbringing, or they had this go on and this go on, and I didn't have that. So I thought it's a very well written song. It's a little bit of a stretch, but I think this track reminded me of "Christy, Are You Doing Okay" by The Offspring in a sense. I kind of thought this more answered it or was talking to Christy in a different, I don't know, different world, whatever have you. Um, but yeah, that chorus. I hope you settle down. I hope you marry rich. I hope you're scared of all the ordinary shit, like murderers and ghosts and cancer on your skin, and not your soul and what he might do with it. It's a solid song, and it kind of relates to anyone who's had a relationship that kind of fell apart or just a friendship, whatever it be, a friendship or a partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. Um, and you just kind of want the best for them, but you're not really sure what happened to them. But you're like, you deserve. Everybody deserves the best, even the shitty people. You deserve the best in the sense that maybe it'll make you be better. I think it's a very relatable song, especially now with social media. I mean, there's friends that I have on Facebook, and I'm sure you can relate to this, where it's like I haven't talked to them or seen their face in years, but it's kind of nice to like be in their life in a sense. But on the other hand, there's a lot of people, and I think this relates more with the track. There's the people that you haven't seen forever, and you have no interaction with, and you're like, I hope they're doing all right. Especially some people that went down in like a bad path after high school, or just they had a divorce or whatever. I mean, we're getting older now. But this is a track that I kind of thought ties into that, where it's like, man, I hope you're doing well with whatever you're doing. Overall, I really liked it. The chorus hits really hard, and I'd love to see it live, because I feel like the audience would really get into this track, because I feel like it's so relatable, and I wouldn't expect everybody at home, if you're listening to this, to know this track. But I kind of urge you, as a really the only time I've ever pushed a bonus track. I think this is a good one. I'm glad you liked it too. I think it's just so relatable, and it's so, I don't know, it's got a good vibe to it. I feel like a lot of people will like it. I gave it a 4.3
Oh damn.
out of
Okay.
5
We close.
overall.
Yeah,
So,
very solid pick.
overall thoughts though for the album.
Overall thoughts for the album.
For AM, Arctic
I
Monkeys.
I like I liked it. It didn't really. It had one or two songs that like didn't go as high as some of the others, but it remained consistently good with like a couple like it was bright, and then there'd be even brighter spots. So yeah, I can see why it's like held in like such high regard. I would probably give it about like a. I mean, I know we're not doing like out of 10, but like if they were on a scale of like 1 to 100, I would probably give it around like a 7.5 to an 8.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be like, if I gave it an 8, it wouldn't be like the most enthusiastic 8. You know what I mean? But it'd be like an 8. Yeah. But I liked it. I liked it, and I thought I do find it funny that my favorite song, you're like, no, 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 no,
That
no.
seems to happen more often than not.
Yeah, I feel like that happened like pretty recently, didn't it?
Yeah, no, I can't remember what album it was or
But
what review,
recent,
but recent enough. How
yeah.
about you go listen to all our videos
And
and
you
you
tell
figure it out?
us.
Yeah,
So, what do you have an album picked out for next week?
I do. We're gonna be doing. I've been holding this in my pocket for a minute. We're
Okay.
gonna be doing My Morning Jacket, their 2005
Okay.
album, on your birthday, 10/4.
All right.
I'm pretty sure, pretty confident. Z
Okay.
by My Morning Jacket.
Sweet.
What is the bonus for next week?
The bonus track is going to be Flex by a band called Courting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a good track. Very, very easy listen. I went away for a while. I come back all the time. I can't leave this town. Anyway, that's a little tease for it. So
Okay.
no, I'm excited because I remember you like bringing up this album a while ago.
Yeah, and it's supposedly like I was doing a little googling today, and I was like, this is probably like one of their, because it's from 2005. I was like, they've been around for a minute at that point. This is probably like not that good. Like people are not gonna like it, but it's supposedly one of their better albums.
Okay.
And I listened to it probably 2 times today at work, and I was like, it's funny because there's one song where it's like kitten's on fire, and I was like, I don't know how he's gonna feel about that because he's got cats. But then the next lyric is like baby in a blender, and I'm like, well, it levels out,
evens out.
but it's not that dark.
Sure.
But that is one of the tracks on it. But anyways,
Word.
That concludes this week's working hour. And until next time,
Don't work too hard now.